So how about you in India?
Oh, whoa. It's been a journey. We were joking yesterday about how we've had the opportunity and privilege to experience so many different spectrums of a relationship, and be 0 and 1 through 9, throughout it, and to be able to continuously remind ourselves from our 0 point self that, and to see it, like, for all this words and all this stuff, like, but to be in it, to see it and reflect back on, wow, how much compassion, like, what do you want to manifest? What do you want on your dream? That these types of things, that communication with other kingdoms, really just laws of attunement. Like, I want to allow that safety and security, that the transmitting of energy, the true love making between beings and incarnations, like, to be a part of that. I didn't even mentally know this was possible, and these things aren't even coming into the field unless the space is available, and the space isn't available unless it's a secure space, and it's only secure if we're able to crack our own codons, we're able to get in our cracks, we're able to attempt to articulate the uncomfortable, the pains, to really see, like, ooh, these crippling matters. This is the crypto current. This is where all that current's stored, and we get to cultivate a space and share it, feel into it, see how to safely, responsibly, harmoniously bring it forth. And it feels like we've been surrendering into this knowing, even when we think otherwise. Or so, yeah, really playing quantum, in between many different expectations, many different billets, many different responsibilities, many different, and then feeling into what's going to be best for the greater, connecting this, connecting that, while playing into our puppets of who we think we are and who we think the other is. And it's been a journey.
You know what I hear? And that's also connecting to something that came to my awareness just recently, that, we've got this blueprint with human design, gene keys, and genealogy. But what came to my awareness, and I don't even know where I got this spark, it's like when you work with these tools, it's like a door to go beyond your numbers. To even, I don't know the English word. In the Netherlands, it's overstijgen. to go beyond. I don't have another word, but just to, we go in this binary code and we function in it, and that has a certain frequency and skills and actions and blah blah blah. But then when you get to know this plane and know how to work with it, and then you can raise above it, and then just step out of it. That's also going quantum, is like going outside or stepping out of the binary. It makes sense. That's what you're doing, like connecting with the essence every time instead of the numbers around it. It's again like the 0 around, and the 1.
it feels like in whatever whatever language is allows us to feel safe and secure in thinking we're able to transmit what we think we're even saying. But if we feel secure within that, so if we all agree on eniology, then we can get the pieces in the right piece to where the whole opens up. Now we're able to access that whole. Or if yeah, I see like a stage with more of these puppets. And if Pinocchio grew up next to, I don't know the other puppets actually, so
Muppet Show.
Yeah, the Muppets or Pooh Bear or something. Do we
Yeah.
have anything else? Okay, Pooh. So if Pooh, right, who's a bear, who may be more, into the honey game and standing and in the trees, but grew up around just jackasses, right? Was always trying to pull things and walk on just four legs. It's like, yo, but we need to get the honey for the tribe. We need for the propolis and then to build relations with the bees and bring them flowers and just, it's like, no, we don't need you pulling all that. That's for them. They'll pull way better too. But they only pull as good as they're eating honey. So we really need the honey right now. So it's like, oh, okay. Oh, I'm a bear. Oh, okay. It's okay. Okay. But meanwhile, Pooh's like, yo, I got to pull this cart. They're pulling carts. I don't want them to be the only ones pulling the carts. And this guy, he's hopping around. Does he need others to hop around?
Tigger.
So when it's like, no, yeah, but he's hopping, but he'll hop better with honey. But he can't reach that honey. We need you to get the, okay. So then it feels like we're able to find our piece to then fit in, and then be better, be more optimal for the whole, or optimal for our piece. And again, the best intentions, right? Let me help you cross. And so in having a language of, in this case, eniology, to then say, okay, in this space and time, or in this dream, or in this reality, this is how it's appearing. And so a surface level language, and it's definitely not surface language. There's a depth in numerology, in the eniology. So, but it's enough to where the beings have a common language to get a sense. Okay, I'll play Mercury. All right, where's my sons? Right, like I'll bring the sun out. I'm gonna. Where's the Ketus, the Rahus? Okay, we got our Talkins. Okay, cool. Yeah, and then India, Rahu. Sevan, Rahu.
I'm both. I'm Rahu and Ketu.
Okay, 4-7, of course.
Of course.
So I'm the 7. Yeah, that's often like I can find myself articulating and bringing jargon from a multitude of different, and then I can find myself completely muted and feeling like a Muppet, or feeling like the puppet on stage with no strings. Where's my puppeteer? What's going on, higher self? Where are you at? What's up? Why do I feel like I'm mute? But seeing the value, it's only wrong if I need to be the one doing something. But when there's someone else that feels that has already solidified a relationship that allows for others to feel more comfortable, then it would make way more sense to come through that piece of the puzzle than another piece, just to feel adequate, or to feel a sense of when it wouldn't benefit the actual puzzle to the degree had it been there.
Yeah.
So it's such an interesting dance, this concept of death, and getting over whatever we think our performance needs to play out as opposed to what you know, having these human design, these identifying potentials, the dream spell, just how we could potentially show up and relevant to that community or to that cosmos. If everyone's on human design, dope. All right, well, I'm a hermit opportunist. So, you know, if you see me all the time, then it's not a good look.
No.
Because they're not able to charge up and then really show up with the real jewels. So,
The right time.
So, but I forget that sometimes because I'm attempting to put on a show or please or something. So we got it like that to where we want the best for the puzzle. So we remind ourselves, right? Hey, is that your not self? What's up?
Hey.
I know you want to be here right now, but we need you to catch your breath. Like, oh, okay, okay, good. Because all right.
Yeah.
So it's beautiful to be able to play within so many different languages and experiences and contrast, and to see the compassion. Like, wow, we've accumulated so much evidence. If there's ever a case or ever an evidential, you know, buildup, it's of, yeah, who are we to judge? Because there's a multitude of experiences and data. And
yeah, and if you can bring that to your relationship and the way you perceive each other's actions and things and skills and the not likables, then you get this whole new dynamic.
mm-hmm.
It's again the not judging that I hear, you know.
Mm.
Yeah. And I know that
This
from
is like
experience, you know, because
this is like the ego.
yeah,
It's like kill the ego or don't judge. Like there's more adept weights and measures than what's on the surface. And with the human design, being able to see your primary reflection, you know, being able to show up to Hans and say, hey, look, I know you got the what is it, the 59 gene key. Yeah, so I know, you know, and now to see how you can support that, not only for himself, for yourself, but for the greater self, great spirit, or who, you know, you're 1+1, y'all's three that came in, that brought y'all together, y'all's Holy Ghost. So look, I need y'all two to meet up so I can come into form, come into this space to do this. And it's only going to happen through like this gleamer in his eyes that lights him up when he feels like he's seen, because that gate's activated. We could take it as like, you were trying to get in their pants. Like, no, but what that gleam of being held in infinite space, because it's like, we know all this, right? We study this, we felt this, we've experienced this.
Right.
I can open a space of infinite and bring out the genius and all this, except for those that I'm involved with, because I unconsciously bring all my shit that I wouldn't bring to a stranger or a client, or so it's like when we are conscious of even that part of it, now we're like, again, it's that depth factor. It's, do we love this being, this bird enough to have a cage that's open?
Right.
To see that this blossoming flower, this being, this, is gonna, you know, what's it look? I mean, it's blossoming one way with the sun, you know, that's lighting it up, and some hydrolux water, and you know, but what's it like with other stars in the field? And to sit back and watch how the blossoming
I just love
is
that.
happening through other star systems, and then to observe what comes up for the star. Well, hey, right? That would be indicating that we really don't want the best for that flower then. And that's not the case. Or what about the garden? And what about the, so it's like, Is it safe to die off and allow all these other suns or other planets? Because that's going to benefit all the flowers in the garden. Wow. And then in dying off, we gain that, even that awareness or that experience to then see the value in death again. And yeah, the ego, it goes into the life's work is purity.
Mm-hmm.
For myself, purity.
Oh, I don't know.
And it said that purity has the it's the toughest one or something, you know, right? Because the ego remains there until the very. And so it wasn't until later that I've made sense of that piece in my own little perception of my journey of trying to kill my ego or kill this fear, right? You know, why do the whispers come in? Why do I question myself? That doesn't make sense. All right, let me throw myself into another rite of passage. Let me find a tribe that hasn't touched humanity. I'll take this thing to them. You know, you guys kill me. Like, make me pure. Come on. You know, and then boom, again, to see, and then what I experienced in that tribe or what I experienced in there, and how, you know, what benefited them from these other tribes, and how it's like, but the underlying current is love.
Always.
That's like, and the judgments just break that love up, right? It brokers it.
Yeah.
Which isn't bad, because in some tribes there's elders that hold that structure so well and have that cosmic vision so aligned that you want their judgments involved in the algorithm because of all that they've experienced. And then if they're taken out of the space and they bring those same judgments to another space where it's irrelevant to that time and space, we could see how it would hinder the flow of creation.
Yeah.
And then if we just went with that same knowing to another space and assumed all elders should be the one judging, we may see that that may not be beneficial.
I feel like that sort of gatekeepers.
And the children may be the ones. But if you take that to some cultures, well, the children definitely aren't the ones yet. So it seems so relevant to the time, to the space. And when we can ensure that we've learned enough about the Babylon scenario, that the words can be necessary, or not necessary, but can be used and bridged, but can also get in the way and are anchored to so many other experiences, and we can say, yeah, so can we all feel? And then can we fortify this relationship with what we're feeling and calibrate that to where even if it's a different language, it can often be a big benefit. And as I've been traveling, even going into some of the Bribris and, you know, over here in the Talamancas with India, and I'm able to communicate in some spaces with the grandfather because I don't know the language. Mm-hmm. But as the stories are getting told and I'm, you know, seeing the spells weaved or so, and all the energies, that I'm feeling it, and then it's a whole other communication. And same thing with the mamos, and it's so humbling. It's so humbling. And to see the universal language of love, no matter what skin, no matter what whatever these energetic brokers, everyone appreciates connection, right, appreciates community, unity. And it's all these words are relative to that space, what that looks like, whether it's a gang, whether it's mafia, whether it's a police academy, whether it's the holiest cult, it's still a group of beings all agreeing that their great spirit, their Holy Ghost, their trajectory, gives them a sense of completeness or fulfilling. And so it's like worth showing up for. And then it's even worth spreading because it's benefited that being. And so everyone should know about it, and they'll create missions or missionaries. And it's like, I see now what could get a being excited to share when one feels complete, especially with others. And so that's what's so beautiful.
You know,
is that it's so diverse.
Yeah. You know what's so cosmically funny? That everything we shared, we come back to the same essence, and that is the love that we all seek and we all kind of miss because we don't feel whole, because we are, you know, split up. And everything we do is to get this confirmation that we are being loved and appreciated. But that's a form of love, of the true love, not the word love, but the frequency of love. For me, that this, as a little child, I was 6 years old. I had this conversation with my dad. I said, Daddy, I know what's the most important thing in life. And he said, what's that, little one? And I said, love. That's the first thing came out of my mouth. And he laughed a bit, and I was like, what are you laughing about? He said, no, my sweet, the world is going around for power and money. And I said, no, love is the most important thing. That's what the world is all about. So he tried to convince me that power and money was everything that was the world was turning around. And I was like sitting there, yeah, you go ahead and talk, but I know it's love. And everything, every time I go back after beautiful conversations and sharings, and now again with you, I just feel it right going back to this boom. Here is the love again. The love for me is this oneness where we got separated. To be able to feel what it means to be one. Because when you're one, you don't know love because you are love. And yeah, sometimes we with the mind can make it all so big and difficult and hard to grasp. And sometimes I have these moments like now again, I'm like, it's so simple. Why are we making it so difficult and to a mind-boggling thing when it all comes down again to this one thing that we all seek somehow? And why do we seek them? We go back into the difficulty of the brain that wants to know, you know, make it difficult, or I don't know. Yeah, that always makes me smile when I come back to the simplicity of it all. And then expand again to make it difficult again, because then I'm trying to understand it again. You know, it can't be this simple. It can't be this simple. That's the one sentence I got. The first sentence. Never mind. One thing I got. The first thing I got in my ayahuasca, my first ayahuasca, I only had one. Life is a cosmic joke was the first thing. And everybody was crying and puking and screaming. And I was laughing. I just had to hold my laugh. I was laughing so loud. I was like, because they said, yo, whatever you're doing, you know, there are people around you, just try to keep it down. And so I tried to keep down my laugh, but I think I laughed for like half an hour or an hour. I don't know. Yeah. And I get these moments more and more when a situation happens where other people would say this is difficult or this is hard or this is, you know, a confrontation, and then you feel your heart like just close down for a minute because it feels threatened. I'm able to open it again because I can see, yeah, cosmic funny, you know, that like the puppets that we're being played to play this part and nothing more, nothing less. You're just a part of the play. You know, let it play out. And yeah,